Tonight, Mayor Duggan opening up about the coronavirus pandemic and the impact it's having on his city.
Yeah, I recently sat down with the mayor at a safe social distance to talk about when he thinks the city could reopen and what it will look like once it does. Coronavirus hit Detroit at a time when many areas in the city were experiencing an economic renaissance. But now that the bustle of downtown restaurants, bars, and sporting events has been put on hold, will the city bounce back and continue to thrive? The mayor seems optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, the $350 million deficit is a major issue to deal with, and I think City Council has been acting responsibly for the last 6 years, so we had a lot of money built up in reserve preparing for the next recession. We just didn't think it would be this fast and this dramatic. But the City of New York doesn't have a $350 million deficit, they have a $10 billion deficit. You think about Las Vegas, and their problems are far more severe than ours. So, you know, every major city in America is dealing with this, and we'll deal with it too. Going forward, do you think that people will go to the casinos like they did before? I wouldn't be surprised if later this year you have restaurants and casinos opening at a third of capacity, and you've got people spaced 6 feet apart and a lot of cleaning protocols and people wearing masks. I don't think you'll see them fully occupied until a vaccine is developed, and I think that's probably a year away. We've heard Dr. Anthony Fauci talk about his concern for a second wave of this as people start to go back in some areas, going back and maybe a little too quickly. Does that concern you, a second wave? And if so, are you doing anything to prepare for that? I think the governor has handled this thing very well from the beginning, but you prevent a second wave by bringing people back in a medically appropriate way. So I've been going to work every day for weeks. I wear a mask. My temperature is checked every morning when I come in. We keep distant from each other. It is absolutely possible to reopen most businesses in a medically safe way. And if we do that, we'll be fine. And if we go back to huge crowds in the parks and that kind of thing, it'll spark back up. How is it personally weighing on you? It was a lot worse 4 weeks ago. I mean, when I wake up in the morning and see that 50 people had died the day before and another 100 officers were quarantined this morning, and we couldn't get in basic masks. It was really tense, but the team went to work, and day by day we dug out of it. Of course, in the middle of all that, we lost our police chief for 3 weeks, which added to the stress level. But the administration's been around for 6 years. We got an experienced staff, the team's pulling their weight, and now it's good to go to work. It's still, we're losing 4 or 5 people a day, which is still very painful, but it was 40 or 50, and if we keep going, we'll make everybody safer. Right now, my goal is I want every Detroiter who wants a test to get a test. We're going to start to move in that direction.
Mayor Duggan has endorsed former Vice President Joe Biden for president and was campaigning for him before the pandemic. I asked the mayor if there was any chance he'd go work for the Biden administration if Biden is elected president. His answer?
Absolutely not. I made a promise to Detroiters when I got elected. I'd serve the 4 years, and that promise is ironclad. There's no conversation.
No conversation
about me leaving. Right now, the last thing this city needs is a change. We're going to be digging our way out of the economic impact of COVID-19 for the next year or two, and we need a mayor who's completely focused on the job here, and that's me.
He is very optimistic about the future of the city. And if you missed the first part of my interview with the mayor, we have it on our website. Just go to clickondetroit.com.
Great conversation. All right, let's head back.